everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine and this is Moyer Makes. And today we are going to be starting a new project. I'm so excited for this, or I guess it's a new project series is what we're gonna call it. I've decided to kind of like break up some of my bigger projects into maybe like multi-part series. Or if you guys would prefer just a long form, like one big video, definitely let me know in the comments down below. But today we are actually starting the fireweed sweater, or at least what I'm calling it is the end of summer sweater, because fireweed pops up and lives. Fireweed is a flower that naturally occurs, I believe, in the West Coast, specifically the Pacific Northwest, and Alaska. And it grows, it's called fireweed because it typically grows in areas that have suffered from wildfires. It's kind of like it's one of the few plants that spread via wildfire. And it's this beautiful purple flower that grows up in the summer and it flowers over the summer. It's beautiful, and then you can tell that the end of summer is coming by its seed pattern. So the seeds will start at the top of the flower and work their way down, and the more flowers that seed out on a single plant, the closer winter is. But it is a beautiful flower that grows around here, and I admire it. It's one of my favorite wildflowers we have here in Alaska. And if you guys have watched some of my other videos, you may have noticed a different video of a fireweed hat that I've made using the same colorwork pattern, which was from a chart I had found on Chartminder from a pair of mittens that I had adjusted and recolored and repurposed for my own use. And that hat was just kind of like a test run to see if like my basic project would work, and it did. It worked really well, so I've bit the bullet and I've bought the yarn, and I'm all ready to start on the fireweed sweater. So I will be putting the pattern I'm using for this sweater in the description, as well as like maybe like popping up a little picture here. It's a drops sweater pattern, and it is a men's like quarter zip sweater. And the original pattern has color work like across the yoke. Well, not quite across the yoke, but across the arms and chest, like right below the yoke. And this, I'm reworking it to where my color work is actually ending up at the bottom of the sweater, so it'll be around the base of the sweater after the ribbing. And yesterday I actually went ahead and did my swatch to see if I got gauge. I haven't quite done the math yet to see if I have gotten gauge for it yet, but this is what my swatch looks like so far. I haven't blocked it yet either, but my goodness, I love the way this looks. Look at that. It is just, I love this chart. Thank you so much to the person who designed it. I will pop their username over in this area as well. But it is such a beautiful, even with like what little adjustment I had to do, it was mostly just recoloring it and changing some of the flower placement. Just absolutely gorgeous, right? And I'm using this beautiful yarn. Is it Icelandic or Norwegian? Hang on. Doop-a-doo. It is Icelandic wool, called Letlopi, or it's Lopi brand, and then it's like Letlopi. I apologize, I don't speak Icelandic, and you know, I'm pronouncing it the way I think it's pronounced. But so this is the wool that I'm using for this sweater. This is actually my base color wool here, which is shade 0054. See if I can get that to zoom in. If you're local to Fairbanks, I purchased this at Yarn Over, which is our local yarn shop. And the lady there is amazing. She's super sweet. And I highly recommend you pop over there if you haven't yet. Let me go ahead and grab my other shades so I can tell you what other colors we're using. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, like again, for the main body we're using shade 0054, if you can see that. Hopefully that works. And then for the green of the flower, we are using shade 1407. See if we can get that to focus. Focus. Yes. It is shade 1407. And last but not least, for our pink, we're using shade 1705. I don't know if you guys can see that. Maybe. I'm gonna say that after every time I show you guys something, I swear. Alright, so those are the shades we're using for the whole body. The pattern calls for size US 4 or 3.5. Hang on. I cannot remember different needle sizes unless it's right in front of me. I don't know about you guys. But we're using size 4, 3 or 3.5 or millimeter knitting needles. I use these Knit Picks options. These are my interchangeable circular knitting needles. They're really pretty. I like them. I've used them for all of my other sweaters that I've knit so far, as well as multiple hats. This was definitely a great upgrade from those super cheap needles I tend to use. So I'm really happy to be using those for this project. Let's see, what else do I want to share about this project? I'm not really sure how this will do in blocking, or if I have actual gauge, I might have to go down a needle size, but from the way it looks, I think it'll work out just fine. It's just, can we get a little bit of commotion for this color work? Because oh my goodness, I am in love. I am in love with this color work. This motif is just, it's so beautiful. I'm so thankful I was able to find something similar to it, because I don't think my brain would work to process actually doing this motif like from my own head. So I'm really excited about that. I will actually be blocking this piece here and using it as a wall hang, because it's so pretty to me, and I can't unravel it. So as far as that goes, I think that's kind of all I have for this specific video. I know it's a shorter one, but yeah, I'm excited to go on this with you guys, and I'm excited to share the steps of my thought process with you guys. This is actually going to be my first wool sweater. My other sweaters that I've knit have been in like polyester and acrylic, just because I'm knitting them for people who will have to wash them frequently, and it's very difficult to, you know, if I don't give them something that they're going to be able to wash without a lot of steps, they're not going to wear it because they don't want to mess it up. And I appreciate that, and I love them for that, but I want them to wear the things that I make them. In my own selfish way. It's important to me that if I make you something, I want you to wear it. I don't care personally if they shrink their sweater and they give it back to me and I have to fix it, but I do know them, and I know that they'll just want to keep it nice, and so it'll become like a special occasion thing instead of like a everyday sweater, because that's what I made them this year. But that being said, I have been wanting to branch out into more wool projects. I knit the occasional hat or pair of socks or a pair of mittens in wool, you know, or alpaca. But I never, you know, I've never done a big project in wool, so I'm very excited about this. Let alone Icelandic wool. It's such a fancy wool. And I'm really impressed with how this knit up. It doesn't feel as scratchy, itchy as I thought it would, as like most wool things do to people with like sensitive-ish skin. And it's just, I'm just so excited to start this project, and I'm so excited to take you guys with me on this journey. And obviously, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Moyer Makes, to kind of also see some more behind the scenes look at this. And yeah, I'm excited. Let's get started on this project. I decided I'm actually also going to include some footage of me blocking out this this gauge swatch of mine. So let's clip over to that real quick. Alright, hi everybody. So I've got the blocking all set up on this gauge swatch here. I got the gauge swatch all set up on my blocking board. It's a 9x9 square here. And I'm actually going to steam block it because wet blocking scares me a little bit and I'm familiar with steam blocking. So I've got it all pinned out and I'm just going to gently steam it once my steamer's ready to go. Yay! So yeah, we're just gonna gently steam it. If you have experience doing this and I'm making you cringe right now with my inexperience, please forgive me, but also like drop any tips you have for actually properly blocking something like this in the comments. That would definitely be very helpful and much appreciated. Wow, this really smells like sheep. Okay. Well, wet wool smells like wet sheep. For those of you that don't know, I grew up on a homestead, and I used to raise sheep as part of like my 4-H project. So it's good to, I don't know, it smells familiar and it makes me happy. I miss having sheep. If I didn't work full time, I would definitely own some now, but alas. All right, so let's see here. We'll do one more pretty big pass through here. And for those of you that are like, oh wow, she's like in the steam, so it must not be that hot. It's very hot. I really like hot temperatures, which is really funny coming from somebody who lives in Alaska. So the heat doesn't bother me, but definitely don't do what I do, you know, do as I say, not as I do. But we're all in this for fun. All right. I'm gonna make sure that's unplugged because it holds heat. Okay, so now that that's done, that's steamed, I'll leave this pinned for a few days like this, and then it'll be ready to go up on the wall. And I want to give you guys another like close-up of that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Just absolutely gorgeous. I'm so excited to have a sweater of this. I'm so excited to put this on a sweater. I'm excited to put this on my wall even. I'm so excited. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, where I'll have cast it on and started this beautiful sweater. I'll see you guys later. Bye.